we're doing Hometown Heroes this week, and we want to thank Overhead Doors of Frederick for helping us out with this. And I will tell you, this is Colonel Aaron Pitney. And there are many times you get so humbled when you meet our Hometown Heroes. I don't think I've ever been more humbled because we got a press release that you were taking over Fort Detrick. And I'm going to say taking over. I mean, you're in charge of Fort Detrick, but taking over sounds so much more exciting. But just a list of just some of your accomplishment. West Point graduate, Army physician, okay, pediatrician, pediatric hematologist, oncologist, and you were also the lead surgeon for the Army in Fort Eustis. Is that correct? That's only some of your accomplishments.
Well, thank you. It's a great honor to be here, and I don't command all of Fort Detrick. I'm the commander of the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases, which is really one of the largest units that's on the installation, one of the most historic units up here in Frederick. So, but yeah, it's been a great Army career. I've had nothing but awesome opportunities to meet people, to be part of great teams. So it's really an honor to be here at USAMRIN and at Fort Detrick.
Well, with USAMRIN, they do so many great things. Can you tell us anything that you're working on that we're allowed to know about? That's not
absolutely.
like, total top secret.
Yeah. So USAMRIN in general is really focused on biodefense. So high-risk pathogens that exist both in what we call the operational environment, where we send our soldiers all around the world. They are at potential risk for exposure. That could be naturally occurring diseases, or those could be that, in the case if there's a situation where something by an adversary gets weaponized, we work on the countermeasures to ensure that our soldiers are safe. I think one of the great benefits is that the work that we do not only has primary focus on benefiting soldiers, but it also has the potential to benefit populations and in the places where we work, to help really all of humankind to prevent and avoid diseases that are significant in terms of their risk to people.
And Fort Detrick, USAMRIN, such a huge part of our community forever, for as long as I remember growing up. But I want to kind of take a step back in time because you joined the Army at how old?
So I was 18.
And you went to West Point.
I was 18
right?
when I went to West Point. I can't believe that was almost, it's getting closer and closer to 40 years ago. So that was a decision that was inspired by family members and a lot of different things, but an opportunity I grew up in the Midwest, but wanted a challenge, and it's just been an incredible journey since then.
Did you have any kind of feeling or desire, hey, when you were 18 years old, you go to West Point, that you were going to be a doctor, a physician, the general surgeon? The list goes on and on. When I say he has a resume that I have never seen before, it truly is. It's very inspiring.
Well, thank you. I think I think when people try to map out a career in the Army and say it's going to be exactly one thing or another, I think you set yourself up for surprises or disappointment. So I think what you have to do is really take it as a step-by-step approach. And what I've just enjoyed is that, especially when there's instances where I've taken an assignment that I wouldn't have said was my top choice, and that it ended up being the best thing for me.
Is that one of these here at USAMRIN?
No, that's not one of these. Okay. This is actually was a top choice for me when I was able to select rank order, if you will, the places that I could go and take command. This was very much on the top of my list. My wife is from Bethesda.
Oh, gosh.
Two of our kids were born in Bethesda at Walter Reed, and so this is very much a second home for us.
Very nice. And you also, during the pandemic, the hospital that you were in charge of, you guys did some pretty incredible things. You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, where I'm actually from, a few hours from Fort Leonard Wood. So it's a training base, and so the turnover of soldiers that come in there for basic training and for advanced training is significant, somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 to 1,000 per week. And so during the pandemic, especially when we were early on, when we did not have any vaccines or truly effective countermeasures available to us, we had to very much organize ourselves to get soldiers into a place where they could then safely train. And so that was a challenge, especially for a small hospital that was staffed really just to take care of the population there. And now we had to expand what we were capable of doing. And so our team of, I think, about 1,000 that we had there, they worked weekends, they worked nights, they worked overtime, and it was just a total team effort between our team and the rest of the base to make sure that we could continue to train new soldiers in the Army, because that is a major mission that the Army has, is to train our new soldiers.
And get them trained correctly.
Yes.
Which is wonderful. My last question for you is, you've been in Frederick for about a year now, right?
Yes.
If you're going to go out and get something to eat, what is your favorite restaurant?
Dutch's Daughter.
Oh, no. Cream of crab soup?
Have to do that. Crab cakes.
Yes.
Got to go down to the dungeon or sit up on the patio.
And get prime rib? That's so good.
Yeah.
We're so hungry now.
I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's probably one of our favorite places to go. We go to the showroom. I'm a little bit of a foodie. My wife's a little bit of a foodie, so
I'm an eatie. I eat everything.
Yeah, we're a little bit too, but yeah, we certainly love a lot of the places around here. It's a great community. I love how it's so close to the mountains, and you can kind of see that off in the distance. You're close to Pennsylvania, Gettysburg. Lots of great activities around here.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming in for
Thank
our
you.
hometown hero. It was wonderful meeting you, and we hope to be able to talk to you again.
That would be great. Thank you.